Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
Yes, I do, John.
No, you're supposed to say.
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Hey, it's Friday, the 24th day of April. We were just discussing because it seems like we just started April and we're almost done with the month. Mm-hmm. Today is National Pigs in a Blanket Day. I never had those till you and I got married.
I know.
It was like 20 years ago. And then
you became addicted and you wanted
them.
Every single day you're like, are we going to have
Well,
some?
it wasn't every day, but quite often. But you know what? I haven't had those in like 15 years.
No, well, our kids aren't little anymore, so I don't
Yeah.
make them.
Can
I
you
used to
me
make
some
them for the kids.
Pigs in a Blanket. It's also National Teach Children to Save Day. That's a really good idea, by the way.
We didn't do a very good job of that.
No, we didn't. We did for a while, and then we did a poor job of saving, and so did the kids.
Yeah.
It's National Arbor Day today and National Hairball Awareness Day today. And I've got a guest that I'll be speaking with here in just a bit, Maurice Bernard. He's from the TV program General Hospital. He's been on there 714 years. Okay, it's not been quite that long. He's been on there a long, long time. I'll have to ask him how long. It's been a long time. And he's got a new book out. It's called Nothing General About It. And it looks like a good book. A lot of folks excited about it. We'll chat with Maurice Bernard coming up in a bit. Many people have dabbled in the stock market for their very first time ever this year. If you're new to the market, but you don't want to learn things the hard way and the expensive way, I encourage you to subscribe to this free newsletter. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com. Subscribe for free. If you change your mind, just unsubscribe. Sign up for free right now at marketbeatminute.com. That's marketbeatminute.com. Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A survey found that the anti-anxiety medication prescriptions are going out through the roof right now. Spiked 34% during the COVID pandemic. Here's the thing I got to tell you. A lot of people are anxious right now because they're watching the news. If that's what's happening to you, you're watching the news and you're freaking out, quit watching the news.
Right.
I'm not saying that it's going to change the world around you. Find something that'll make you smile. Turn on a comedy and watch that and just smile and laugh and have a good time for a little bit. I used to get really hung up on the news and then I'd get all worked up and then I quit doing that. I don't watch the news as much as I used to, and boy, I'm happier, a lot happier.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think maybe that's the issue right now. People are like, I want to be informed, but then it's like information overload, and I can see where anti-anxiety medications up 34%. This has been Surveys and Studies and Such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. A man brandished a gun and threatened a person playing the Easter Bunny. You don't get to say brandished very often, but he waved a gun at some people. This happened at an overpass on an interstate in Ohio. 49-year-old man was arrested. Believe it or not, he was drunk as a skunk. His alcohol test was quite high. They took him to a medical facility. They refused him because his temperature was high. They thought he might have coronavirus. Right. Jason Best said the man, that's the officer that arrested him, said the man could face charges of aggravated menacing, which is quite a thing to be charged with, and improper handling of a firearm in a vehicle.
I wonder what he had against the Easter Bunny guy.
I don't know. He and another man sitting in a camouflage painted pickup truck parked on the edge of a road. They waved a .22 caliber handgun, and they had a 12-pack of beer that was in the vehicle as well. As they were talking to him, he was slurring his words, so he clearly didn't think this through. But that's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. The top 5 most watched TV programs in the last week were ABC World News Tonight with David Muir. Also, ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, and then that same thing 3 more times. He was the top 5 most watched shows.
I have never seen that. Never even heard of it. Have you?
Yeah, I've heard of How have you never heard of it?
David Muir. I don't know who that is. I've
You do
never
too.
heard of him.
You've seen him. I know you have.
Okay.
He's the news guy on ABC.
I don't watch it. I
Okay.
don't
Have you heard
know
of
who he is.
Tiger King?
Yes.
Okay, good news. Joe Exotic from Tiger King is in talks to broadcast a radio show from prison. Wait a minute.
That
What?
is good news.
That is terrible idea. Terrible. And I'm not just saying that because I don't want him, competing with us, but I can tell you, I think it's a bad idea. And a pink sequin shirt that belonged to Tiger King star Joe Exotic has gone up for sale on eBay, Heidi.
A pink sequin shirt.
I put a bid in on it for you. I want to get you something
thank you.
really nice.
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
I didn't really put a bid on it. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
We're here to make it better.
If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. I just think this is so funny. A video of a bench-clearing brawl that broke out during opening day of Chinese Baseball League has gone viral. Here's the thing that's funny about it. They're playing baseball, but they don't have a crowd. Because they're trying to make sure that they're doing everything according to the CDC guidelines, and so we can't have a crowd of people because we don't want people too close. But there's like a giant pile of people fighting each other. I'm like, guys,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
That's not going to work. 2 million chickens will be slaughtered in Delaware at a farm there because of staff shortages during COVID. Here's the thing I don't understand. Isn't that what they would have done with those chickens anyway? I don't really understand the story. So I'm not.
No, I don't understand either. Is it because they don't have enough people to feed them and take care of them?
They're saying we don't have enough people, so we're
just going to take them to the slaughterhouse.
But I think that's what they were going to do anyway. It's a chicken farm. I don't know. Maybe I have no clue.
But they probably would have gotten more money out of them if they were able
I don't know.
to raise them to
Could
full.
be. I've got a link to the story. Maybe I'll click it.
That's too bad.
But I probably won't. Federal authorities may need to track people's health and location data through a smartphone app in order to let people return to work. So saying, hey, good news, we're going to try to help everybody get back to work, but we're going to also have to track everywhere you go and everything you do and everyone you talk to.
Right. No, thanks.
I don't know. But here's the thing. They're already doing it right now. This little phone, it's listening to you. Got one over there.
Oh, yeah.
They're listening to us all the time. I just don't have anything really that interesting going on. So, speaking of phones, a phone study by the University of Phoenix found 4 in 10 Americans are lonely right now due to the lockdown and people, the distancing and all that.
Right.
So here's one of the things I would like to encourage people to do. If you know someone who lives alone, they don't have kids there, they don't have, a spouse there, it's just them on their own. Think of people like that right now. Who's that in your mind? Call them. Pick up the phone and call. Don't text them. That's not the same. Let them hear your voice. Just reach out and say, hey, I was just thinking of you. How are things going?
Unless you're thinking of me, I prefer a text.
Yeah. Well, you've got somebody who lives in the house with you. It's me. I'm your husband. We talk all the time, and she's fine. Move on to that other person now. A CDC study found that the more you walk, the less likely you are to die prematurely.
That's a good thing
they're
they're
saying
doing that study.
Exercise is good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know. 8 people who attended a weekly poker game in Florida have all been infected with coronavirus, which is a sad story, but it's like, that's pretty darn ironic.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not giving up the game. I'm going. And then they end up with coronavirus. I'm like, ooh, that's not good. And our final story, Ruth's Chris Steakhouse chain, which I've never understood the name. Ruth's apostrophe.
Yeah.
Ruth's
I never
Chris.
understood that either.
Anyway, they received a $20 million bailout from the coronavirus aid program, and people are freaking out about it. But here's the thing. Think about how many locations they have and how many people work there. So when you add all that up, it's probably about right. I don't know. Either way, I've got a link to the story if you want to know more. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Heck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. We have two-time Emmy Award winner Maurice Bernard joining us right now from General Hospital. How you doing, sir?
How you doing?
I am fantastic. Now, you've been on the program General Hospital for quite some time. How many years?
27 years.
Wow, that's quite a while.
Yeah, that's a while.
So you've got this new book out. It's called Nothing General About It, How Love and Lithium Saved Me On and Off General Hospital. I'm excited to find out more about this. So how in the world did love and lithium save you on and off General Hospital?
Well, basically, I've had 3 nervous breakdowns, and I've had the nervous breakdowns, and I've been in a mental institution, and I've had the nervous breakdowns because I stopped taking my lithium. So now, 27 years later, I've been taking lithium straight and haven't had a breakdown.
That is fantastic. I'm glad to hear that things are going well now. So let's think back to 27 years ago. You go onto the set for the first time. You're going to be on General Hospital. Did you have any idea it would last 27 years?
No, I got hired to do a 6-month role and to play a bad guy. And I knew I had to kind of change the guy into a better guy. And 27 years later, it's been, here I am.
So you've been Sonny from General Hospital for a long, long time. So when you're out in public and you see people, do you have people who think you are Sonny?
Yeah, everybody calls me Sonny, which is fine, because I think Sonny's a cool name. Especially in the East Coast, everybody, knows who I am.
So you've got this new book, Nothing General About It, How Love and Lithium Saved Me On and Off General Hospitals. What are some of the fun stories that we're going to learn about when we pick up a copy of this book and read it?
Well, you're going to find a lot of, to me, it's Cinderella meets One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's an incredible love story. There's a lot of mental health. There's animals, there's family. It's got it all in there. And, everybody says they can't put it down when they start reading it, so I guess it's a good thing.
That is fantastic. If they're reading it and they can't put it down, what more can you ask for? Now, earlier you were talking about you had a mental breakdown, nervous breakdown, and you were put in an institution for a while. How weird was that for you to be in an institution when you play a character on General Hospital that's based in a hospital all the time? That had to be kind of weird to be in a hospital.
It's a whole different setting, man. It's when you're in a mental institution, it's a nightmare. The setting on General Hospital is a set, so it's different.
So the program General Hospital, of course, based in a hospital, and I'm assuming you probably have some fans who actually work in real hospitals as well that also watch your program.
We get General Hospital fans. It's all sorts of fans, people that work in hospitals. You get it. We have such a loyal following, I can't even tell you.
Yeah, I know the show has done very, very well over the years, and congrats on the Emmys. Now, you've got this new book out. Can I get the book now?
Yeah, you can get it at, Amazon, Nothing General About It, Barnes & Noble, HarperCollins. You can find it.
And I know there's some folks that have a little more time on their hands, so this may be a good way to spend that time reading your book.
Yes.
Now, I see on here you worked with Susan Black on the writing of this book. You guys worked together. Have you worked together in the past as well, or is this the first time you've collaborated with Susan?
We've done a short film together. She's like a film writer.
Well, that's awesome. So you guys have had a chance to work together before, and you came back, so that's, I think, very good news.
Yeah.
Well, Maurice, thank you again for taking the time to chat with us today. I appreciate it a bunch.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
Again, Maurice Bernard, he is with the ABC soap opera General Hospital, been on there 27 years, won a couple of Emmys. Now he's got a new book out. It's called Nothing General About It, How Love and Lithium Saved Me On and Off General Hospital. I'm going to make it really easy to find a copy of this. We'll put a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Right now, even a little vacation would be nice.
But this one is going to be great.
This October, we're going to Cancun for a fun event called The Sands.
Hear awesome music from Billy Idol, Belinda Carlisle, Cheap Trick, and so many more.
This happens at the end of October, and when everything blows over, we're going to need a vacation. I hope you will join us.
We've been to this same event for the last 3 years, and it's so much fun. I wouldn't miss it.
Get all the information and get your spot reserved to join us at radiotravelgroup.com.
That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There may be 2,000 active serial killers in the United States right now. This is kind of weird. Thomas Hargrove has been archiving homicides for years now using his Murder Accountability Project. It says here, through his experience, he came up with an algorithm, and he found patterns in recent unsolved murders linked to at least one other murder through DNA. This allowed him to estimate the number of unsolved cases at any given time, and according to The New Yorker, he believes that number of active serial killers in the U.S. is somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,000
That's a
people.
terrifying thought.
That is. The cool thing is, though, that somebody thought of, hey, let's come up with a program and put all this info in there. We've watched Cold Case Files and Forensic Files and all that.
I love those
And there are
shows.
times where the police department will find out, well, 2 counties over they had an issue,
Right.
but those departments never talked.
Right.
So they didn't know, oh, you guys had that? Well, we had that. So
Right.
this guy's going, hey, I'm going to just map the whole U.S., and that's pretty cool. This has been today's Fun Fact.
Some credit cards have really high rates or big annual fees. Usually, people sign up for these when it's all they qualify for. If that sounds like you, it may be time to get a better credit card. Over time, your situation changes, and you may qualify for a better credit card. Your current card hopes you don't think about it, but our site shows you many options to see if there's a better credit card for you. Check it out for free at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, a news headline from somewhere in this world, Dateline Brazil. Have we done a story from Brazil in the past?
I think we did.
Have we? Okay. I don't
Yeah.
know. I just don't remember. But this is kind of a fun one. Dateline Brazil. A Brazilian judge was seen shirtless during a court session on Zoom.
That's classy.
I don't know. I'm not really sure if he could pull off the shirtless thing. Wouldn't you think that he'd be wearing a robe?
Well, you would sure hope so.
If you're judging it up, you're being a judge. I'm not sure what is it called when you're judging? Is that what it'd be? When you're working as a judge, you would think that
you're working,
even if you're working from home. I didn't know they were doing that. They're doing court from home. But I don't know how
Yeah,
that
he's
works.
taking the whole casual thing a little
It's
too
like,
far.
He's sitting there, no shirt on. I'm going to say guilty. That's just a bizarre story. Thanks for listening to today's news headline from somewhere in this world.
We're here to make it better.
If you find that drug or alcohol problems are hitting you too close to home, you can get help. Maybe it's time for rehab. Your insurance may even cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. Get help for a drug or alcohol problem within 24 hours.
We're here to make it better.
Get more information at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. An Italian woman who took her turtle for a walk, and it says pizza-sized turtle, which is a weird thing. Is it a large pizza? Is it a small
personal pizza?
I don't know. Anyway, a pizza-sized turtle. She's been fined 400 euros by the Roman police. So this is in Italy, where they've had a terrible, terrible time
Right.
with coronavirus. More than 20,000 people have lost their life. So it's a big deal in a small country. You can take your dog for a walk. They view that as a good reason to leave your home. But she took her turtle for a walk, and the 60-year-old woman was caught without a justifiable reason for her walk, so she was fined 400 euros. She was walking the turtle, and the police say that is not a justifiable excuse. I've never seen anybody walk a turtle before.
No,
Is
I
that common practice?
I don't believe so. And it would be a really slow walk.
Probably would be. Yeah, I don't know. This has been today's Weird News, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, your moment of duh, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. A British police department posted a reminder on Twitter. This is one of those things that you shouldn't have to tell people, but they had to tell people because somebody did it. The Essex Police Communications Office tweeted that a call had come in Sunday to their 999 number, similar to a 911
Right, that's
number. It's
911.
their emergency line. Somebody called. They say an unusual 999 call at this time of day. Caller reports they could hear someone snoring. Advice was given to them, and snoring is never a reason to call 999, no matter how annoying it is. So the tweet used hashtag
That person
emergencies
must have been an
only.
extremely loud snorer.
Maybe, or if the weather's nice and they have the windows open, I could see that.
Even still, I mean,
Oh, yeah, I
it would
could-
have to be loud
No.
to come into the house next door.
I can hear you blocks away when the windows are open. I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
unless they're in an apartment, maybe, and it's got very
Yeah, that's
thin
true.
walls.
I'm going to just say this. If you hear someone snoring...
Either way, you don't
call
call
the-
that. No,
don't call the
go over and
police.
knock on the door and say,
Yeah,
"Hey,
don't even do that.
roll
Just-
over."
I don't think you do that. This has been today's Moment of Duh.
Do you pay too much for insurance? Have you looked around? Or are you too chicken? Don't be afraid to look around to see if you can find a better deal at InsuranceChicken.com. We make it super simple for you to see rates from several different companies, to see what they have to offer, all in one place. Peck out great insurance deals at InsuranceChicken.com. Is it time for you to cross the road? See if we can save you money each month at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. At this point in the program, I read a little story, and Heidi has to guess, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it hashtag fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Here we go. Fake news or Florida? Police in Jupiter, Florida arrest a mother after her daughter wore a purse containing 3 pounds of marijuana to school. Fake news or Florida?
Fake news.
Oh, we just did this? We talked about it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
That's not very good. Usually, I'm pretty darn good at like keeping this from you, but that one I. Thank you, by the way, to the people who are making these up, because I can't do a good job at that. But you guys are good. You're awesome. If you want to come up with a fake news story, you can certainly share that if you'd like. You can do it right on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show, or on our website, johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news. I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of hashtag gift card challenge. You can find more info at giftcardchallenge.org. I love this story. Here's a headline. Students use money for end-of-school trip to help family who lost home and farm in fire. So sad news that they lost their home. This happened, by the way, in Switzerland. Back in October, a family had their stables and their family home completely burned to the ground. The buildings, by the way, were about 300 years old.
Oh, that's
The
too
next
bad.
morning, the local public school, the students were shocked of the news of this horrific event, and they said, we want to do something to help. Robin Egger, one of the teachers, the head teacher at the school, worked with a colleague. Together, they developed a plan for their students to help this family. They went to local businesses, and they asked for donations, and then they put their logo on a big poster that they hung up at a market where they were selling homemade goods to also raise money for the cause. And they raised a bunch of dough to help this family out, which is really, really cool. And all of this money they usually would be raising for their end-of-school trip, but they said instead of going on our end-of-school trip, we're going to just help these guys.
Right.
Like that's better than a trip. So the generosity of these 27 students involved in the project made got on the internet and made its rounds, and there was a media company that saw this in Switzerland that said, I like this. And they did a story about it. And when they went to share this story, they also said, oh, by the way, you're also going to get an end of your trip. We're sending you to Europark.
Oh.
So it's like a huge...
See, you do good things and good things happen.
Yeah, it's a world-famous theme park in Germany. I don't know when they get to go. I'm assuming it's going to be like when it opens. But that's really, really cool. I think it's just a neat story. I've got a link to that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.